Today's movement is Utsubuse Wakishime. This is where we will be face down and pull ourselves forward with our arms. Practicing these variations will help improve your pulling and core strength. Utsubuse means prone position. Waki means armpit, and shime means to squeeze. So a direct translation could be the prone armpit squeeze. Sounds a little weird. So I think maybe a better way to say this in English would be prone arm drag. Today, I'm going to show you 3 variations of Utsubuse Wakishime. The first one is where you will have your arms under you the entire time. In the second variation, you'll swing your arms out to the side before pulling yourself forward. The final variation is where you'll have your feet up in order to further improve your pulling strength. This is a great drill in teaching us how to be heavy, as well as a reminder to keep our elbows in. Please note that I'm not teaching specific grappling techniques, and while I might reference certain techniques, the purpose of these videos is simply to help you to move better. The better and more efficiently you move, the more easily it's going to be for you to access your grappling techniques. Let's step on the mat and get to it. For this first variation, we're going to focus on keeping our forearms as close together as possible with our palms up and just simply pull ourselves forward. What's going to allow us to do that are the toes. And so when you're working on this, having active toes is going to be very important. What this does is it not only helps us to move forward, but it's also going to allow us to give more pressure for when we're actually doing this on an opponent. So by pushing our toes into the mat, it drives us forward. Now, keeping our arms underneath us with forearms together, we're simply going to pull our elbows towards our hips as we push away with our toes. We're going to pull our hands forward just a little bit, toes on the mat, pull and push forward. So once again, you can just move your arms up in any manner you need to just to get used to being in this position. And with your toes on the mat, push into the mat as you pull your elbows down towards your hips. I feel this second variation is actually the most important. And so if you were to only focus on just one, this is the one I suggest. Now, similar to the first one, you're going to start with your toes on the mat and they will be active. However, in this case, we're actually going to swing our arms to the front. Notice that my palms are down. I'm going to flip my hands over, put my elbows on the mat, and as I drive my toes into the mat, pull my elbows down towards my hips. That's the movement. Now, to show you this one more time, really focus on pulling the chest up and driving your hips into the mat as you pull yourself forward. This is really kind of the beauty of this movement and where it's really going to help you with your pulling strength as well as strengthening your core, including not just your abs in the front, but the side as well as your lower back. Everything you're going to be strengthening here. So once again, starting, my hands are underneath me here. Toes are on the mat. Swing my arms out to the side, pulling myself forward. I can continue going all the way up the mat. All right, third variation, similar to the second one, but we're just going to have our feet up off the ground. Obviously, it's going to make it more difficult and just really force you to pull harder with your arms. That's really it. Same thing in regard to making sure that you're pulling your chest up and driving your hips into the mat when you're performing this one. Something that might actually help you in the beginning when working on this is to actually keep your legs relatively close together. Makes it a little bit lighter and so that it's easier for you to move your body forward as you perform it. Gradually working on opening your legs out to the side, having your knees those angles, keeping your knees at those angles, and pulling yourself forward. Focus on getting really good at each of these movements by practicing them individually, going up and down the mat. All right, time to step on the mat and give it a try. Make sure to leave a comment below. Let me know how it goes.